I'm Andrew Bolton, Curator in charge of the Costume Institute, and I'm taking you on a tour of our most recent exhibition, In America, an Anthology of Fashion, which explores defining moments in 19th and 20th century American fashion. The show centres around the complex and layered histories of the Met's American Wing period rooms, which provide curated windows into over 300 years of domestic life. For the exhibition, we've transformed the period rooms into a series of focused narratives that reflect larger developments, such as the emergence of an identifiable American style and the rise of the named designer as an individual recognized for their distinct creative vision. In this way, Anthology also provides a historical grounding for the companion exhibition In America, a Lexicon of Fashion, currently on view in the Anna Wintour Costume Centre, which offers an expansive reflection on defining qualities of fashion in the United States. These period room installations take the form of cinematic vignettes that enliven the stories and highlight the intimate and immersive aspects of the rooms. These fictional tableaux were created by 9 film directors: Radha, Janicza, Sofia Coppola, Julie Dash, Tom Ford, Regina King, Martin Scorsese, Autumn de Wilde, and Chloe Zhao. In addition to the vignettes, we've also included 7 case studies offering in-depth forensic analyses of individual costumes that function as connecting threads. Together, they comprise an anthology that challenges and complicates received histories, offering a more nuanced and less monolithic reading of American fashion and of American culture more broadly. The first major theme we examine is the emergence of a distinct American style, brought to life by the film director Autumn de Wilde in both the Baltimore dining room and the Benkard room, which are both crafted in the neoclassical style popular in early 19th century America. By the early 19th century, Baltimore was an artistically and commercially vibrant city. As in other urban centres in the US, the latest styles in Paris and London influenced local trends. In France, a revived interest in classical antiquity resulted in the popularization of dresses with narrow silhouettes and high waistlines. Most fashion-conscious American women modified Parisian styles for greater simplicity or modesty. French style continued to provide inspiration in the US throughout the 19th century. Moving over to the Richmond room, we explore the theme of the emergence of a named designer with director Regina King. Here we feature 3 designs by Fanny Chris Payne, a leading designer in the Virginia capital at the turn of the 20th century. The dresses reveal the designer's precise technical skill and refined artistic sensibility, including her expert tailoring, careful composition of embellishments, and use of delicate materials with fine pin tucks and lace insets. Born in about 1867 to formerly enslaved parents, Chris belonged to a generation of Black Virginians who built their livelihoods following the abolition of slavery in the US. She established herself as one of Richmond's premier fashion professionals in the face of segregation laws that barred members of the Black community from entrepreneurship. Dressmaking was one of the few occupations accessible to women in this period that offered opportunities for economic independence and social advancement. It was also increasingly recognized as a creative endeavor, and thus signing one's work with a label became a common practice. Regina King's scene reimagines the context of Chris's career, presenting her wearing one of her designs as her own muse and a muse for her clients. The exploration of this theme continues with vignettes in the Haverhill room by director Radha, featuring a wedding dress by L.P. Hollander, as well as in the McKim Mead and White Stair Hall and the Worsham-Rockefeller dressing room by director Sofia Coppola, with designs by Lucy Monet and others. We also explore the emergence of a named designer in one of our case studies, featuring this striking dress by New Orleans dressmaker Alain Boise, which is made with 2 bodices, one for afternoon, which you see in the display, and an alternative one for evening with short sleeves and a low-cut neckline. In the 1860s, it was rare for American dressmakers to label their designs, By doing so, Olympe followed the example of French couturier Charles Frederick Worth, who saw labelling as a promotional tool and a mark akin to an artist's signature. A large part of the exhibition centres on the theme of the birth of American sportswear. We see this theme explored through minimalism in the designs by Claire McCardle in a scene in the Shaker Room by director Chloe Zhao, and the emergence of an individual spirit in Elizabeth Hawes' designs in the Gothic Revival Library, staged by director Janicza Bravo, as well as in Charles James's elegant gowns in the Frank Lloyd Wright Room in a scene created by Martin Scorsese. Another aspect of this theme is historicism, explored here in the Rococo Revival Parlor with a party scene by director Janicza Bravo. The opulent historicism of the Rococo Revival Parlor is paralleled in this lavish 1960s evening dress by Marguerite Bolhagen, which echoes the emphatic silhouette of mid-19th century fashion. Bolhagen, who was largely based in the Washington, D.C. area, specialized in custom garments and was known for sculptural designs made from exquisite fabrics. Austin Hearst, wife of newspaper mogul William Randolph Hearst Jr., wore this design to John F. Kennedy's inaugural ball in 1961. The creative synergy between the two women resulted in some of the designer's most distinctive work. Other examples of historicism in American fashion are featured in the Renaissance Revival Room with designs by Anne Lowe, and in the Greek Revival Room with evening dresses by Madame Etta Hence, both vignettes created by director Julie Dash. Another pivotal moment for American fashion is exemplified in the Vanderlyn Panorama with director and designer Tom Ford's imaginative and dynamic staging of a major fashion event known as the Battle of Versailles. American fashion took its rightful place on the world stage on November the 28th, 1973, at the Transatlantic Fashion Show, Great Entertainment at Versailles. Conceived by fashion publicist Eleanor Lambert and palace curator Gerald Vanderkamp as a fundraiser for the host palace, then in significant disrepair, the Battle of Versailles pitched 5 couturiers from France, Marc Bowen for Christian Dior, Pierre Cardin, Givenchy, Yves Saint Laurent, and Emmanuel Ungaro, against 5 ready-to-wear designers from the US, Bill Blass, Stephen Burrows, Halston, Anne Klein, and Oscar de la Renta. While the French staged an elaborate presentation, the Americans captivated the audience with the modernity of their clothes and the vitality of their choreography. The American models, many of whom were women of color, stole the show. The event shifted the dynamics between the reigning capital of haute couture and the emergent epicenter of sportswear. The ensembles displayed here against John Vanderlyn's panoramic view of Versailles were shown either at the original event or in the participating designers' concurrent seasonal runway presentations. Together, Lexicon and Anthology present a dialogue spanning the evolution of American fashion, how it began and where it is today, in all of its nuances, diverse aesthetics, and inspirations. We hope you come to view this immersive experience for yourselves and grow your own relationship to American fashion.